Okay, one of the last days of this unit, I think we've got one or two more left. Today we're talking about insurance, right? And a lot of the different types of insurance that you'll need and why you actually need insurance in your life. Okay, so the first thing all insurance really is it's just we're taking our risk, right? The risk of something bad happening to us, right? And we're paying someone else, like an insurance company, to actually take that risk from us, right? So the risk of me falling down and breaking my leg, well, I'm paying my health insurance to take that risk for me, right? So they're going to take it. And if I do ever break my leg, well, then they're going to pay for it, right? The risk of that, right? So they're actually going to be the ones who are stuck with the bill for paying for my medical bills, right? Because I've been paying them a premium all this time. And again, you should see this in one of your readings. I mean, a premium is just basically your health insurance bill or your insurance bill, period. All right, but again, it's just the transfer of risk from one person to another. Okay, so again, risk management strategies, right? What is it we're trying to do whenever we're managing our risk? What is it we're trying to do whenever we're buying insurance? Is we're just trying to get rid of our risk, right? We don't like having to take risks that aren't necessarily ones that we don't want to take, right? So like again, the whole idea of breaking our leg. Well, we don't want to take that risk, right? We don't want to take the risk that one day we may break our leg and we're stuck with a $400,000 hospital bill. No one wants to take that risk, so because of that, they buy insurance, right? And that kind of helps to reduce, like it says down here, the negative effects of something happening, right? So if I have health insurance, that reduces the negative risk of me breaking my leg, right? So if I break my leg, then I don't have to pay the entire hospital bill now because I've got insurance. Okay, so the types of insurance that our standard wants us to cover today anyway are auto, health, homeowners, life, and disability, right? So we'll kind of run through those real quick. Okay, auto insurance, and it's all these are exactly what they sound like, right? Auto insurance is just insurance that we get on our car, right? And down here at the bottom it says the two things that you need to consider whenever you're talking about getting insurance is, do you need liability or do you need comprehensive coverage? Okay, liability means that if you have a wreck and you cause it, your insurance is only going to pay for the other vehicle or whatever it is that you did damage to. So if you ran into a mailbox, if you ran into a light bulb, you ran into a house, something like that, your insurance is only going to pay for the damage you did. It's not going to pay for your car, right? Comprehensive coverage, on the other hand, if you're at fault, it's going to pay for everything. It's going to pay for the damage that you caused to your own car. It's going to pay for the damage you caused to whatever else it may have been, right? If you had another car, if you had another whatever, it's going to pay for all of it. The thing about it is comprehensive coverage is a little bit more expensive as far as like your monthly payments are concerned, right? Okay, health insurance, again, exactly what it says, right? It's coverage for whenever you get sick. It's coverage for if you have to go to the doctor, if you need to go to the hospital, anything like that, right? This covering your health, right? The things that you need to consider is, do you need basic health care? Do you need major medical, right? Major medical usually covers huge expenses, right? Whenever you have someone who's going to be sick for a very, very long time, right? Maybe someone dealing with cancer or something like that, right? These types of health insurances are going to do a lot better job of covering that. Do you need dental and vision insurance, right? Right, if you've got if you have really bad eyesight, it's probably a good thing for you to think about having vision insurance in the future. All right. Moving on, your homeowner's insurance, again, exactly what it sounds like. It's insurance on your home, right? And it protects you in case your home burns down, in case your home gets flooded. If there's ever any damage to your house, maybe like a storm comes through and blows a tree over on your house, right? It's going to cover it. Right, it's going to cover it if someone breaks in your house and steals your stuff. Your insurance, your home insurance, will cover the interior of your home. Right? If the mailman is walking up your steps and the steps fall through on him, right, and he decides he's going to sue you, well, your homeowner's insurance again is going to pay for that as well. Again, it's just basically paying for any kind of damages, anything like that that happens on your property at your house. All right, life insurance. This is if you ever have to use life insurance, it's not that big of a deal to you anymore, right? Because life insurance only happens, right, if the owner of the policy dies. Right, so the example I always use is I have a $500,000 life insurance policy. So if anything ever happens to me and I die, then my wife is actually going to get that $500,000, right? So this is just to secure in case something ever happens to me and I do die, that my loved ones are going to be taken care of, right? It just depends how much life insurance you get, depends on where you are in life. So if you've got huge amounts of debt, then you may want to consider getting a life insurance policy that's big enough to pay off those debts. All right, so for my wife and I, we've got about $100,000 in our house. We've got about $30,000 worth of student loan debts. So, I mean, realistically, we've got about $150,000 worth of stuff that if something were to happen to me today, that would have to be paid off. Right. And so, what our policy does is it gives us enough money to pay off those debts. And it also gives my wife enough money to be able to send her kids to college or whatever it may be. Right. Enough to be able to provide for my kids, like it says down here at the bottom. All right. Last one, disability insurance. This one is in case you get hurt and you can't work, like it says down at the bottom. Think about Aflac, the little crazy duck, right? They give you cash, which is just as good as money. So disability insurance only ever kicks in if something happens and you absolutely cannot go to work anymore and you can't earn a paycheck, right? So and at a certain point, you're going to run out of sick days at your work, right? And they're going to stop paying you a paycheck. They're not going to fire you, right? They're not going to get rid of you because there's actually laws that protect you in that case. But they don't necessarily have to pay you once your sick days are over, right? So once that happens, disability insurance actually kicks in and it basically just becomes a new paycheck for you. So you get a paycheck the entire time while you're hurt and you can't work. So there's that. That's it. If you got any questions, as usual, ask.